Midnight Sun, take 3, action. We have been having some technical difficulties here. It has been a long morning of recording videos that didn't work, then uploading them to YouTube, which didn't work. And then once we got a video recorded and uploaded to YouTube, then we watched it and it was terrible. My internet must have been cutting in and out because the volume and the voice was all weird. So here we go again. So I have said this story or this bit of thing a lot of times. So today, or at least this time of this story, I'm going to tell you the shortened version. So the other day, I read a book to you, and now it's missing because we're videotaping. I think somebody just put it away, although it was sitting right next to me. Thank you, Helper Abby. 2 days ago, I read the story, The Giant Cabbage, to you. It's an Alaskan folktale. And on the very first page, Moose was talking about growing his giant cabbage. And you can see right here, he was saying that the vegetables had all grown very large under the midnight sun. And then it talks all about his story of him and his giant cabbage and how he's getting it to the fair. And here at the very, very end, on the last page, Moose and Bear and Hare and Fox and all of their friends celebrated their friendship under the midnight sun. So this lesson is going to tie that back together on what is the midnight sun, because that might be a term you haven't heard before, or maybe you know what it is, but you didn't know that it was called the midnight sun. So to get started with that, I want to first show you our globe of land and water. And here I have, there's North America and South America, and across this is the Pacific Ocean. There's Hawaii right there. And then we come around and here's Asia and Australia and Europe and Africa, and of course Antarctica is down here at the South Pole, where we can't see it most of the time, but it's down there. And again, we talked the other day that the Earth doesn't sit straight up and down with the North Pole up and the South Pole down. It has a tilt to it. So the Earth doesn't sit flat. The Earth has a tilt, and it's really important that the Earth has a tilt. We talked about it the other day. That's what gives us our seasons. The other day, last week, was our first day of spring. We call that the spring equinox. Equa meaning same, and nox meaning night. So if you were here at the equator, the sun's rays were perpendicular to the equator, directly overhead, and it caused the day to be equal to the night. I'm sorry, my phone is messaging me, if you can hear it dinging. I'm in a group chat, and as you all know, when you're in a group chat, every time someone chats, everyone gets the message. It is a group of teachers from school that is in the group chat, and everyone's just checking in and making sure that everyone is okay and having their needs met. So if you hear that chime, just know that it's all the teachers checking in with each other, making sure that we're all healthy and safe. Okay, so here I have the globe, and I put a star right up here on the Brooks Range in Alaska. That's where one of my friends is from, and he was telling me about what the weather is like, or what the seasons are like, and it's very different from here. Now, just last week, we had the spring equinox, and the spring equinox, remember, is when the sun's rays are perpendicular to the equator. Can you hold that right there, please? So the equator is this line right here, and so the sun's rays were perpendicular to the equator. And so all of those places that are lit up, you can see the sun, this would be dawn right here, and as time goes by, dawn changes, the sun, or actually, let's hold on, that's the sunset, because the sun is setting and it's going to darkness. There we go. My side of the globe is showing sunrise or dawn. I need you to bring the sun up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so here we are with North America. I'm going to move it out of the sun's rays so you can see it. Here's North America. Here's the equator. It comes right through South America. So last week on the spring equinox, when the rays were perpendicular right here, you can see that the lit up of the globe is half of the globe, half of everything. Even Antarctica down here is getting a little bit of sunlight, and up here in northern Canada and Alaska are getting some sunshine. Everybody's getting some sunshine when it's springtime. So when I turn the globe here, you can see everybody's getting half the globe is getting day and half the globe is getting night, and this whole half over here. But the sun is only overhead like this during the spring equinox and the autumn equinox in the fall. The rest of the time, the sun's rays are changing in the sky. So as we come out of spring, let go please. As we come out of spring, the sun's rays are moving a little more to the north and a little more to the north and a little more to the north as we get through to this summer solstice. At the summer solstice, the sun's rays are perpendicular right up here at the northernmost part that they're perpendicular to. Let's see. Selena, can you hold the flashlight right there? Perfect. Okay, so now you'll see when the globe, let's see if I can find it. There we go. Now you can see when the globe is turning, only from here up is experiencing daylight. Everything down here is dark. So here I'm going to turn it, and you can see the northern hemisphere is getting a lot of light. In fact, it's the hottest or the most direct light that the northern hemisphere gets any time of the year. And can you go up a little bit? Here we go. And you can see that down here, poor Antarctica, on our summer solstice in June. Sorry, my phone is ringing now. It's Mrs. Lawson calling to check in. I will call her back in just a little bit. So here we are at the summer solstice. The sun's rays are perpendicular up here in the northern hemisphere, and poor Antarctica, look at that. Antarctica has no sunlight. It's dark all day long. But I want you to see my friends here in the Brooks Range of Alaska right there. Watch this. They are having sunlight all day and all night. The sun never sets on the summer solstice or in the summertime in the northernmost part of the earth. I want to show you a picture really quick. This picture is taken of the Brooks Range. It's taken by a photographer. This is not taken by my friend, but this is taken by a photographer, Paul Souders. And you can see here, he has set up his camera facing north. This picture of the sun is facing straight to the north. And you see the sun is setting. I know it doesn't look like it's setting, but here the sun is moving across the sky and it's going down and a little bit more down. And he took a picture every 15 minutes. So 15 minutes later, it's going down, but the sun never goes below the horizon line when in the summertime, when you're in this area of Alaska. And here it is. This would be like midnight, the lowest part in the sky, and then the sun starts to rise and start its trip across the sky again. So the sun seems to be going around and around through the sky, but never setting, never going below the horizon line. That is what's called the midnight sun. The midnight sun is when the sun is up in the sky all day and all night. So in our story of the Great Cabbage, Moose was able to grow his crops very large under the midnight sun because the sun doesn't set. So when they're harvesting and they're growing their garden, the garden gets sunlight all day and all night, 24 hours of light when they're growing their crops. I'm going to come out of screen share here and come back to you. And I want to just share this one chart with you really quick before I sign off. I showed you this chart the other day. So here the sun's rays are perpendicular to the equator. So everybody's getting equal light. The whole earth is getting equal light. As we move towards the summer solstice, the summer solstice through the season, the sun's rays are further to the north. Here's the equator. Here the sun's rays are up here at the Tropic of Cancer. And when that's happening, look up here. The sun's rays are shining on all of the northern pole area. Down here, you can see Antarctica, that's at the South Pole, doesn't get any light at all. It's dark. As we move back into fall, we're looking at the back side of the earth. The whole front side is lit up. Half the earth is having equal day, equal night, daylight all day long, or sunlight during the day. And then when we move here to the winter solstice, the sun's rays are perpendicular down here to the Tropic of Capricorn, the lower one right here. The equator's up here. Alaska, the Brooks Range, and that northern area is right up here. And Antarctica is down here. Antarctica is getting all of that midnight sun because The winter solstice in the northern hemisphere is actually the summer solstice for the southern hemisphere. So you can see that the sun's rays right now are perpendicular to the equator. Everyone has day and night. As we move to the summertime, it'll be day all the time in the northern hemisphere and night all the time in the southern hemisphere. I'm going to pull up just the political globe really quick from class. On the political globe, where we've put on our human lines and human boundaries, let me find North America for you. There's North America. We actually have labeled these things on our globe. So here is that Brooks Range area in Alaska. It's hard to see it. Let's see if I can find it over water. Somewhere right here by Iceland, maybe you can see it. There's a dotted line right above Iceland, right there. That is called the Arctic Circle. The Arctic Circle, everything north of that up here, that is the area that has the midnight sun. So the sun's rays light up all of the Arctic Circle area, and the sun does not set for this area in the summertime. Just like in the winter, the sun is shining down here on Antarctica, and the sun doesn't rise at all up here in the northern hemisphere, in the northern Arctic Circle. The southern one is called the Antarctic Circle, and the Antarctic Circle is right about in here. So if you have a globe at home, or if you have a wall map of a political map, you can look for the Arctic Circle and the Antarctic Circle and look for those lines on there yourself. You can also do some research to learn more about those places that have the midnight sun. Maybe if you watch Molly of Denali on PBS, you can see an episode about the land of the midnight sun. I will be checking in again and sharing some more videos with you. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you learned something new about the midnight sun. Bye-bye.